TGIF, everyone. What's going on? What's happening? How are you? I hope you had a great week and the start of a great weekend. It has been warm here in Chicago just the last few days. The beginning of the week has been pretty good. So the birthday week is, going pretty well for me, I must say. Had a great time. I am very thankful for another year and the wisdom that I have to the decisions that I made. They will be very helpful and healthy for me. I promise you, very healthy and helpful for me. Welcome on in. Thanks for tuning in tonight. We have Just DeAndre. Thank you so much. Mr. DJ Music, what's going on? Lady V, how are you? We got Gino Richardson. And thank you so much for your contribution. And I accept all belated birthday wishes because I am still here to receive them. Thank you so much. Emmanuel, what's going on? Good to see you always. Thank you for tuning in. I mentioned before I had my staycation and the week before my birthday, and then I had my birthday week this week, and it was enjoyable. I've talked to a lot of people, and just to hear the different stories of what's going on and all of that, it's amazing. It is so amazing, and I am blessed to have the people in my life, the choices that I made, because I made these friendships from, let's see, do I go back to school days? Well, yeah, I would say school days, all the way working years, and some really nice, healthy relationships. And I am so grateful for all of them. I really am. And I end up going downtown for one of the days for my birthday. First time sitting down eating in a restaurant. I still had the mask on until it was time to eat. I'm not taking my mask off until 2024. I'm not playing with these folk. I don't know what's going on. But you can be as safe as you possibly can be. That's the best you can do. It's like it's a virus. It's like a cold. And normally everyone gets one eventually, So I say stay rested, stay hydrated, get your exercise, get your rest, all of those things that contribute to, the start of a healthy life. Remove stress if you can. If you don't need it, get away from it. If you can remove it, if you can minimize it any kind of way, do so. I've have had stress at work And I dealt with it for a long time, and then I couldn't deal with it. And once I realized what was going on with me, I realized, stress, I don't have to have this. Not saying that you up and quit a job, but if you need to do that, hey, if you can live and you're healthy, you can work and survive. But if you're sick and can't work, well, how are you going to survive? And that's the way I look at things. That's how I looked at it from one job that I actually thought I got up to walk away from forever, because I didn't care what the outcome was. I just knew I had to save my life. So, I look at things like that. And so I had a lot of reflection in the last couple of weeks, and really actually since May, honestly. Let me be honest, since May. But reflecting on everything, I know I'm going in the right direction. I've had confirmation from the universe. I have. Yes, I have. And I'm happy about the direction that I'm going in. That's what I say. So let's get our introductions going on here. We know how I do it. Well, I'm doing it differently now, So let's see what we got here. This week we have an intro of, let's see, Mr. Wills.
And hey, I'm gonna tell you what, because every now and then somebody hit me up. Oh man, how come you don't talk about these 304s out here, these modern women out here? For what? If a man is sovereign, if he's powerful, he deals with himself, the women have to change up to deal with him. There's too many men focus on what women are doing. Now, you need to know what they're doing in order to avoid it. If, as a man, you keep running into low-quality women, you keep running into ratchets, you keep running into problems with women, that says you need to change something about yourself. Because one thing, even the ratchets, the low-quality women, 304s, they always going to show respect to certain men. Okay, if you dealt with 20 women, they were all trifling. They were all ratchet. They're all 304s. They were behaving like modern women and all of that. They only had one. If you dealt with 20. What did all those 20 women have in common? All of them had one thing in common. I don't care how much they looked alike, how much they behaved alike, they had one thing in common. You.
We know the truth, what you really want to do. All this live stream talking, not telling truth. Quote and stack like those numbers make it a fact. Those women would have never picked you even where you're at. Winter's here and it's here for you indefinitely. You turn your back on your own damn community. We see your comments in the chat and it's hate speech. You mad at women cause they didn't choose you in their sheets. Name your doctor writing scripts cause the dosage off. Flipping the script, women winning talking about they lost. Been 4 years you been hanging in these YouTube streets. Congratulations, you just earned your bachelor's degree. You wanna clap them cheeks, you wanna clap them cheeks. You wanna clap them cheeks, you wanna clap them cheeks. You wanna clap them cheeks, you wanna clap them cheeks. You wanna clap them cheeks, you wanna clap them cheeks. Those red pills never did nothing for you. I hear Red Bull is on sale, won't you pick up too? Speaking of which, your godfather is dead and gone. No more new quotes for you to carry on. Flip the channel, keep on searching, and don't be sad. Never cry about something that you never had. It's been years you've been hanging in these YouTube streets. Congratulations, you just earned your bachelor's degree. You wanna clap them cheeks, you wanna clap them cheeks. 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 You wanna clap them cheeks.
Something that is literally
Greetings, greetings, greetings. Welcome, Ruby. How are ya?
Char, I'm gonna tell you,
Uh
I'm waiting for my next life. It's gotta be better than this one. It's gotta be. Girl, I'm about done. That's all I gotta say. I am about done. You know what you just done? I'm done. I'm done. That's it. That's what I got for everybody. I'm done.
Wow.
Yep, zero. I'm at zero. No, or maybe I'm at 11. I don't know. How do you rate that? Like when you just done with everybody, and at this point now you have zero patience, zero kindness, zero understanding. I know y'all can't imagine that because Ruby's always the one who wants to have the bleeding heart and understand.
Yeah.
Just DeAndre, I saw you in the chat. I'm just gonna say this. I am sorry, sir. You were right. I was wrong. I will never enable a shitness again. Never. Ever, ever, ever. I have learned my lesson, sir. Learn. I'm done. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's all I gotta say. Yep.
Okay.
That's where we at. So, Shar, how was your birthday? On a better note.
It was good, and I enjoyed it, and I'm still celebrating in my mind. Yes, I am.
Oh, that is lovely. I'm glad to hear one person had an okay week at least, right? Since you gotta live vicariously through others sometimes. You know what I mean? That's
Plus,
what we gonna do.
plus I have one glass of champagne left, and be sipping on that after, doing this housekeeping, and we're gonna get on into it and just pull up some
Mm,
stories and
mm.
have a little sip. Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Ooh,
Yeah.
child, I'm telling you, all week I've been looking at Uber Eats because now since the pandemic, before the situation,
Hmm.
with whatnot, our worldwide thing we got going on, you could not. The only way you could get alcohol in Canada, you had to go to a restaurant, you had to go to a bar, right? Or normally before the hours of either 9 or 10, depending on which one, you could buy beer or liquor from the beer store or the LCBO or the wine rack. That was it. There was no other way in Ontario, Canada to get alcohol. But
Oh
now,
boy.
there's been a worldwide thingy where people couldn't be eating out and whatever. So now Uber Eats will deliver you liquor, right?
Oh,
Girl, I've been
okay.
right. I've been staring at that liquor. I'm like, I know I shouldn't drink all the medication and stuff. I don't know. I don't know. I'm thinking of taking up alcoholism again. It sounds like it's fun. You know what I mean? Seems better than this whole sobriety thing. I don't know. Thinking about it. Thinking about it. I'm just saying. I'm just saying casually, y'all. Casually. I haven't
Okay.
jumped off the wagon yet. Right. Maybe after housekeeping, we'll see how the night goes. I think something's got to be delivering from Uber Eats until like what, maybe 1 a.m. Hopefully, fingers crossed. No, I'm joking.
Oh boy.
I'm telling you, it's been a week. Hmm.
I believe you. I believe you said it. I have to believe you.
Hmm. Hmm.
All right, so let's do the housekeeping. Um, People probably have not seen this in a while, and it is a great thing. It is, let me scroll down. Boop. It is the initiative. People may remember hearing the um, Gray Faulkner initiative, but the names have been removed because it is stated that it is a thing that is greater than them. So it is now called The Initiative. And I put the link in the chat room. Feel free to read it and spread it around.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I like to point out in the initiative is for this to be the core, and this is so interesting, the military, politics, law, labor, education, economics, government. However, when it comes down to these three, these are removed because it's a distraction. And I'm like, that is true. Sex, entertainment, and religion is a distraction. However, isn't it interesting that these are the three things that drive most YouTube content creators?
Mm-hmm.
I said, wow, wow. Now, he said it's a disclaimer here. This is not a perfect plan, and we do not purport this is the only plan. However, it is one of many. These are not solely our ideas, but those we have borrowed from a collective of minds from the past to the recent history. And when I scrolled down, I found this very interesting. And this is something that I actually um, tried to initiate myself. And I do not feel like a failure, and I'll explain why. Now, to get organized, in some instances, you may want to get involved, but don't know where to start. Get organized. It's really quite simple. The difficulty is in the commitment. Here are some steps to help you get organized. One, have your big idea, which is the main objective of your mission, and the groundwork of organizing, creating a list of bullet point lists of what your main objective entails. Two, seek out other individuals and pitch your idea with the intent of attracting allies to you. This group of individuals become the brain trust. Three, find a central location for the brain trust to meet on a routine basis, and you and those individuals must be fully committed to these regular meetings for the sole purpose of creating new and inventive ideas that will be used to achieve the main objective. This gives you a chance to identify specific strengths and weaknesses of your brain trust. So I will say I got to part three. Um, the stories that we would read when it came down to the police killings, it was just disturbing and frightening, and I could not take anymore. So I said, okay, something got to give. I don't know what, but something got to give. And I thought about it, and I got as far as choosing some gentlemen that I thought that would be, a great brain trust. And our meetings, unfortunately, we didn't get far. We had maybe one or two meetings. We had a live stream discussing, some of the things that we were talking about. And we just didn't get any further than that. Even though it was my idea, I made it clear that I did not want to be the face of it because I said, this is what men should do. I would help, but I don't want to be the face of anything. It's just an idea that I have, and I wanted men to be the ones to, take care of that. But I put that out there. You guys read it again, share it. It is a great plan, and as they written, it's not the only plan, but it is one of many. So do check it out.
Now, here's the thing, Char, and I can't even blame Black folk for this one.
Mm-hmm.
There is an inherent failing, and this is why I do agree with the men's side as well as the women's side, and this is why both sides hate me pretty equally, because there's a basic failing that society has had in raising and conditioning and culturing its people, both men and women, to be completely functioning whole members of society who are completely productive, motivated, whatever. It's just because it just reminds me what you just said there of the brain trust. It reminds me of something I was watching yesterday, right? And this is on the white side of stuff, okay? And so there's a channel, and it's a men's channel called Think Before You Sleep, and it's a guy. And he did a video calling Roma Army, who is a men's rights activist, but she's a woman, right? Calling her a chameleon. And what I thought was interesting in it, so first of all, he called child support of any form for any reason. Child support is theft. Like, wait, no, if you willingly created a child, and then for whatever reason that relationship with the woman falls apart, it doesn't mean you're no longer responsible for the child you created. That's kind of crazy. And you know, you paying for that child is not someone stealing from you. Again, crazy, but fine. But my issue was his issue with her, because he's like, oh, she's okay with child support. But what she said was like, there's some problems, you know, it's the manipulators, the vindictive people, the bad women, in essence, bastardize this system and use it for evil or use it selfishly for themselves instead of for the child, which is what it's supposed to be. So what we need to do is we need to band together. We need to work and lobby, you know, in the courts and whatever, to change the laws, right? And to put stuff in there so that way women have to give a detailed accounting of this is how much it's costing to raise the child. And this is how much extra I'm spending every month to raise this child, and this is where his money has gone, right? And I'm like, I think that's a great idea, right? That's what I'm thinking in my head. And this guy's like, oh, come on, you think the courts are really going to be bothered? And it's like, wait, hold on. And she said it too. She was like, so I don't understand. You're saying I'm not for men, but you're basically saying like, no, it's going to be too much work, so we don't really want to do it. Just forget about it. Like, wait,
wow.
Wait, what? So you're saying this is a men's issue. You're saying it's the biggest thing that affects men. And then coming up with a plausible idea like, hey, let's go through the courts and let's fight to get some actual restrictions and whatever enacted, right? So that way men are protected, because she said like no more than a third of a man's income. It's like a third? Yeah. Children are expensive. We think they're cheap? They're expensive. Yeah, a third. I think a third in most cases still not going to have men paying that much, but okay. And you know, whatever. And it was just like, wow, like this is not even, we hear it so much. We talk about our community so much. We forget that it's like, it's not an our community thing sometimes. It's like the men are almost raised to feel like they have no agency and they have no motivation. So they can recognize the issue, not like the issue. They want the issue to change. They just want someone else to change it for them, right? And to make it as easy as possible. So if you said, I want to get a round table of women to fix this issue about policing against black men, that would have been great. They would have been cheering that on. They would have been shaming the women for not showing up and whatever. But when you say, well, no, I want to gather y'all together, you know, I'll provide the brownies and stuff, right? And y'all, right, I definitely don't want to be the face. I'll provide this, that, I'll do as much as I can to support, right? They go, yeah, that sounds like work. Like, no, I want the cops to stop shooting us, right? But like, wait, you want me to do something like active? Like I have to show up, but I was going to watch YouTube for fun. You want me to show up and try, right? Like it's the same thing, right? It's like they don't want to actually actively try, or almost like they feel like they can't, right? And like women's issue is the whole opposite thing. Women know, and they're willing to band together, right? Every time to achieve things that they want to achieve, right? Even if it's stupid things, like they're willing to put in that work, right? Their issues come in other places, like they can't evaluate maybe sometimes some of the the decisions or the priorities or whatever, you know, reasonably. But like, you know, it's something I'm noticing about men of the 21st century. So you know what? I think I'm going to start rhetoric, Char. I'm going to call it modern men, right? Just like modern women are a problem. Modern men are a problem, Char. They really are. This is a modern man. It's just, that's what it is. It's the failing of the modern man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, I've had, you know, my hopes, and I'm willing to help and everything. That's what I thought it was all about. It turned into something else. I'm
Hmm.
disappointed, but technically it's not my fight. I'm not supposed to be in the front. I'm just supposed to be the supportive team, and I can't support if it's nothing there to support. So I'm
Mhm.
where I am now, and I'm okay.
Yep. That's
Yeah,
all you can do. Mm.
yeah. So our last part of our housekeeping. Don't act like you forgot. It is time for school. It doesn't seem
Mm.
like it, but yeah, it's time to enroll in school, everybody. And not sure if you heard of the ZIAC. Let me go to the page. The ZIAC Institute, and it is ran by Q Butter. And let me put the information in the chat room. Let's see. And me and my tabs. Okay, here it is. There's one. Boop. All right. So I've seen a commercial, and I could not find the commercial. I have no idea where I saw the commercial. It was really nice, and that's what made me remember back to school. Plus, I talked to a friend of mine that was talking about what? Back to school. And I'm like, already? So let me make my introduction. Attention, attention, parents. Don't act like you forgot. Time to go back to school. School clothes, that money that you got to pay, and uniforms and fees, all that good stuff. Please get the enrollment going. That is all. Yeah, I mean it's here again. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. It just seemed like yesterday. And if you don't have any children to um, enroll in school, and you just want to help Q Butter and the Ziac Institute, you can always contribute. I put the information in the chat room, and it is tag. What is it called? It's I got to look at the word to remember the word. What is it called? It is a 501c charity.
Mm.
So keep that in mind. Help if you can. Help the kids. Please help the kids. Help the children. Help the children, everybody. Please do.
When is back to school in America?
It's all times as early as like the second week in August.
Mm.
It can be the last week of August. It just depends on what area and what type of school. We have all types now, charter,
Okay.
and then your high school. It depends. Your public. It just all depends.
See, I always thought that was tragic. Like I did. I've always thought it was like super tragic because here, right, we don't start school until the first week, um, like after Labor Day. It actually used to be the first full week after Labor Day, so it wouldn't be the first week in September. It's like the second one. But now it's like just the first week after Labor Day, and I'm like, so you're in September, right? And
Right.
I'm like, yeah, the
Mm-hmm.
fall. That's when the summer's officially over. Everything's terrible, and it's like, fine, I guess I'll go back to school now. I have nothing else to do. It's too cold to go to the beach, right? Like no, like so, I'm like that's perfect. I'm like, and then I heard Americans were going in school like the week after my birthday, and I'm like, ugh, that's
Yeah, it can be just that early.
that's disgusting, right? Like you're stealing my summer and my childhood, and when I get to be off in like spring. Who wants to be off in like like springtime weather? No, no, no. I want to be off in like the dead of summer. That's when people want to have time off. You know what I mean? I think it's mean. I just gotta say, I just think it's mean.
That's
Hmm.
funny.
Wait, hold on, Vonda. What's August 3rd? Are you saying some kids are going back to school August 3rd? Because my
Yeah.
birthday's August 2nd. That is a travesty. If you're saying people are going back to school August 3rd, I will help y'all petition. Well, you gather up them school kids. I will help them. I'll help them make up signs. You know what I mean? That ain't right. That ain't right at all. That's terrible. Oh my gosh.
I told you
Mm-mm.
it all
Woo!
depends on what area you're in. It doesn't matter. It will start. It can't start as early as the second week. Now she's saying the first week, so California, hey, if that's what they doing there, that's what they doing there.
Girl, what a horror show. What kind of evil miscreant? I mean, it would have made birthday parties for me a lot easier as a kid, right? Because, you invite people to school to your birthday party like the last day of school, which for us was like somewhere in the end of June, right? But then by the time August got here, people don't remember you and your birthday. They've been having fun, right? So like it was hard to invite people anywhere. So I'm like, it would have helped that, right? But other than that, that's just cruel. Just cruel. America
Aw.
failing again. No.
uh, and I'd like to welcome Jack Spade to the panel. Welcome, sir. How are you?
Hey.
What's up, everybody? Yo, check it out. As of
Okay.
this moment, I am drinking Polar salsa water. I'm in a
Mhm.
good mood. So y'all
Okay.
be in shock. I may just agree with Classic Ruby today.
What?
Wow. I don't even know. I don't know how to react. It feels kind of
Okay.
strange, right? What? Are you sure?
Everyone in the chat, hey, stay tuned. Take notes. Don't step away from that microphone. Don't step away from those earplugs just yet.
Wow. Whew. I feel like I'm feeling chills, right? This is like anyone check outside? Pigs flying, right?
Okay. Dang.
Yeah, but those school schedules, they were all over the place. Up in New York, I'm gonna say New York, New Jersey, Philly, Delaware. Yeah, they started a day after Labor Day or that first Monday after Labor Day. But when you get down to places like North Carolina, Georgia, I think down here in Georgia, school starts in 2 weeks, maybe.
I believe you.
And what I had mentioned in the chat about the year-round schools, which is a farce in itself, their schedules are all over the place.
Hmm.
Ugh. Year-round school.
You said that's a joke.
Yeah, come on now. I mean, I would have been finishing school so late because I would have kept missing that last semester, right? Because someone needs a summer vacation. I'm sorry. No, this is terrible. Like, who thought of that? I guess it's because it's basically like free daycare, right? And like, I totally get that, but at the same time, like, children are people too, y'all, right? I thought we care about children's lives.
Well,
Let them have a vacation.
that's why I was saying it's a farce. It's not. They say it's year round, but it's not year round. We had a little fiasco. This is when I was living in North Carolina. The schools, some idiots. They started this thing where you had these 3 cycles, and the kids were off during different cycles. So you got cycle A, they had their quote unquote summer-ish break. And then cycle B had their break, and I think the break was like 6 weeks. And then the cycle C had their off period, but all the kids were off for Thanksgiving and Christmas. Man, it was such a fiasco because you had some parents, one child will be off on one cycle, the next 2 children be off on the next cycle. Man, those parents, they were complaining about, they messed up their schedule. But by the time it was for 1st to 8th grade, my son was in high school, so I really didn't have to worry about it. I'm not too sure if they ever got that mess straight, but it's a farce. It's not year round. It's not like in Germany. Germany, they actually have a quote unquote year round, and their scheduling is a lot more well planned out.
Okay. Yeah, no. I wouldn't. You know what the thing is? I'll tell you. Okay, maybe with younger kids, but even middle school, now I would have done the same thing. Here's the problem with doing that, okay? Y'all, I'm going to tell you 2 things about Ruby. Number 1, I'm very good at math. Number 2, I failed both grade 11 and grade 12 math in high school. Now, why? Why did I fail math? Is it because, actually, I failed it with the exact same grade, 47%, and with the exact same teacher for both grades 11 and 12. Now, why would this person who's really great at math fail math? Well, I'll explain. It's because the school that I was going to had 2 different lunch periods, and in both of these cases, my math class was during the, shall we say, more popular lunch period, like where all of my friends were on lunch and they were playing dominoes. And I really like dominoes. And it was after my lunch period. So I'm not going to get up off of the dominoes table when I'm winning, right? When all my friends are on lunch, right? No, seriously. So now I'm just thinking about that, but like now it's summer break. So if I want to hang out with my friends, well, I have to make a choice, don't I? Either I learn for 6 weeks or I play hooky for 6 weeks. Especially if all of my friends are on one summer break and I'm on a different one, I can see that creating a problem very quickly. Just like my inability to continue going to school while my friends get to sit at home and then I get a break to stare at the walls because all my friends are in school. That wouldn't work for, man, that's a bad idea. That's a terrible idea.
Oh,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
okay.
Yep.
All
Yep.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Dominoes it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I have some old stuff, kind of current stuff, some just stuff that's on my plate I want to just share. And I just wanted to know for this one here with LeBron James, did anyone know this that he invested in a live streaming platform and it's a new platform called Kitsch and it's for chefs and creators to connect? Have anyone heard about that?
Mm-mm. I haven't.
Nope.
Hmm. Okay. Well, this started in March, and he invested in the platform, and chefs from around the world they connect and they share, recipes and everything. I did not go to the site, um, but I was just wondering. I'm like, I wonder have anyone heard of that because I have not heard anyone mention another streaming platform. Normally, people would say something, but I was just curious and wanted to share that with you.
Nah, he's been more involved in stuff going on in the foreign lands than anything else.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Hmm.
I don't know. I mean, I just gotta say, like, I don't necessarily like some of the things YouTube does and whatever, but you can start all the new streaming platforms you want, and y'all can talk all you want about how you're going somewhere else and blah blah blah. But you know what ends up happening? Everyone always comes back, even ones who are standing on their generalized principles as a man, like Angel Ramirez Jordan, who has started releasing content again on YouTube after years. Do you know why?
Really?
Yeah, I see the videos now. I'm like, wait, I thought you were gone
Wow.
forever. Well, what happened? You're not gone forever? No, because he's trying to get people to the place that he wants them to be. But the fact of the matter is, the large majority are not going to be willing to follow you off of this platform. This is where everything they watch is. It's the user experience, blah blah blah. No one's going anywhere. That's just what it is. So I mean, like, yay for the new platform. Hopefully people do well on it. I probably will never ever see it. So hopefully it's great. Like that's what it is.
Dang.
I don't know why I keep coming back to you, babe. That's all y'all get tonight.
Darn. But yeah, I know why we keep coming back because this is where the black people come to. That's just the bottom line. If you want everyone else, then you can go to other platforms. But if you want a lot of people of color, you got to come to YouTube. They're just kind of stuck there, and they ain't leaving. That is all.
True.
Yeah, so that's what's happening with that. All right, so the next thing I want to share, let's see here. I'm sure you guys have heard about it. Catalytic converters, they're always being stolen. Really nothing new. But here in Chicago, they do it in the broad daylight. Used to be at night. Now, not so much. So just wanted to share that. Let's see what's happening.
A buzz over a team of thieves stealing catalytic converters in broad daylight. CBS 2's Tim McNicholas tracked multiple images showing their busy and brazen Memorial Day.
Home security video shows the thieves hop out of a black car, grab their tools from the trunk, and then move to this car parked near Clark and Diversey. They even lift the car up using a jack. And then 3 minutes later, one emerges with Nate Churchill's catalytic converter.
Dang.
And this was in broad daylight. It was like 11:50.
Yeah, 11:49. Yeah,
What's your reaction to that?
pretty brazen. You know, right in the middle of Memorial Day, I was having lunch here. I didn't even see what was going on.
And just a half hour before that theft, a woman snapped this photo a few miles away near Augusta and Rockwell.
It was exactly the same. Like they used the same lift for the car.
Natalie Wubin says she spotted these two trying to steal a catalytic converter, yelled at them, and then they drove off. Their getaway car is the same make, model, and color as the one in Churchill's video. And then there's this red sweatshirt spotted at both locations. Wubin says there was also a third person who stayed in the car.
Yeah, it's awful. I literally cannot believe that they think, well, they can get away with it in the middle of broad daylight.
Chicago police don't track catalytic converter thefts specifically, but car insurance companies say they've seen a dramatic increase over the past few years. State Farm says from January through April of this year, they paid 1,170 catalytic converter theft claims in Illinois. That's more than triple the same time frame from last year.
You feel really bad when it happens. Felt violated, and you know, we just recently moved here from Brazil to get away from crime, and here we are with a lot of crime around Chicago.
Did you say Brazil? No.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't say Brazil. No, he didn't say that. He didn't say that.
He did though. I heard it.
Yeah, he did say that. But I mean, the stuff that's going on in Chicago, it is no joke. I have a few things to share tonight, but it's these folks are just wild. They are wild. It's whatever you pretty much can think of. That's what they're doing now. I just hate when it comes down to the violence. That's what upsets me. If you can't, grab whatever it is you're trying to steal, just go to the next place and leave other people alone. It's not worth, because what they end up doing, they'll harm the person, shoot them, and then still run and not try to take what it is they were trying to take. So I'm like, why do you hurt the person? Just go, because now you're going to get a charge. You're going to get caught eventually.
Right.
And now you got a charge. So it just ain't worth it. But you can't tell these people anything. You just can't.
Nope.
Hot mess.
See, this is why, again, people could keep saying it forever till the blue in the face, but it just does come down to that guns create a lot of problems that would not exist if you did not have a gun. If you had a pocket knife, right, and then someone came in and caught you, started yelling and then they start running towards you, what are you going to do? Stay until they get really close so you can stab them? No, you're going to run, right? Like you wouldn't be catching that murder or attempted murder charge, because as soon as you got spotted, you'd be gone, right? But you have this thing that allows you from very long distances away to hit your target, to try to use it as first like a thing for people to be scared, right? And then if they keep advancing, now you're scared. What are you gonna do? You're gonna instinctively press that trigger before you've even thought it through, right? And so it's a major issue I see personally. Living somewhere where there's just so many guns accessible and available, in this culture of guns, because it's like it does create a lot more problems that wouldn't exist if there were just no guns at all.
Yeah.
I know, but y'all are American. You can't agree with me, but I'm just saying, that's how I see it as a non-American.
Yeah, but we have the right to carry, or should be able to be armed anyway.
I know.
I'm going to prime the pump a little bit here, folks. I actually believe it. I actually believe with her. I actually agree with her.
Oh,
okay.
Check that out already. Right?
All right.
Yeah, I had to prime the pump. I'm sorry.
No worries.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that already. Got my extra boost. All right.
All right, so this is a little crime. I call it crime. If you're trying to send a resident a $10,000 water bill, yeah, that's a crime. And it's been over a year. You can't get it settled, and just passing the buck and saying, "Oh, we'll call you back. We investigate. We don't know. That's what the meter says." All the usual. But let's take a listen and see what happens here.
Damn.
City of Chicago water bill for $70 turned into a $10,000 tap from one bill to the next. It's not the first time the CBS 2 investigators have uncovered an inexplicable water bill like this as part of our Getting Hose reporting. CBS 2 investigator Megan Hickey is digging into the problem that one Chicago landlord has been trying to fix for a full year.
It was nothing out of the ordinary. $50 usually per bill until I got the big one.
This is the big one that landlord Jonathan Czox is talking about. In May of last year, he was emailed a $9,912 bill for his single-family home that he rents out to a mom and her young daughter.
I actually thought it was a phishing scam, so I contacted the water department.
No, it wasn't a scam. The bill was actually from the city, claiming his tenant and her daughter used nearly 1 million gallons of water that billing cycle.
Doesn't make sense.
He says he called over and over and he couldn't get a straight answer about whether a city crew ever checked the meter, but his usage was back to normal by the next bill. After months of no answers, he had a state senator reach out on his behalf. The Citizens Utility Board helped him file an informal complaint, but a full year later, he continues to rack up
A senator. You have to go as far as a senator. Now, below that, you got those aldermen. You know, those ones that get paid anywhere from, I don't know, about $70,000 or more a year for just showing up at the Bud Billiken parade and a couple of handshakes here, a couple of meetings over there, and then you don't see them anymore until, back to school. I don't get it, but yeah, I had to throw that in there. I'll
It's
continue.
hard being the mayor's do boy.
Yeah.
$250 late fee on every single bill. We found this just laying out on the ground in front of his house, which, like the amount owed on his water bill, isn't where it should be.
But a bill goes from $50 to $10,000. Why is there not a system set up to alert the user before it gets to that amount?
Jonathan makes a good point. We couldn't find any information about a high usage alert online, and we reached out to the water department to see if any program like that exists. The District of Columbia Water and Sewer Authority, on the other hand, offers these kinds of alerts to their customers. A spokesperson tells me they've had great feedback from customers who've gotten an alert about higher than normal usage long before the massive bill. Jonathan says he loved that option.
Because I'm getting hosed, and I know I'm not alone. And I think the more people that reach out to you, the more the water company will start to pay attention that there's something wrong.
Megan Hickey for the CBS 2 investigators.
The water department responded by saying that houses in 2 flats are automatically notified if their water meter is running continuously. But this guy says he never received a notification. The Department of Finance confirms they will be reaching out to assist him regarding his bill.
Yeah, after a darn year. Come on, a year? Now you're going to reach out now that the news got involved? A whole year? This is what really angers me. You do the right thing as a customer. You're like, hello, this is customer service. How can I help you? Hi, I got this $10,000 water bill here. Oh, well, would you like to pay it today? No, I'd like to find out why. Oh, just a moment. Okay. It says here, according to the meter, this is what you used. Ma'am, that isn't my average. Okay, let me take a look here. Let's see, $70, $50, $50. Oh, yeah, I can see for the past 3 years, it's normally about $50 to $70. Yeah, you must have used a lot of water last month. Ma'am, no. I like to contest this, Oh, well, you can do monthly payments. Would you like to do 12 monthly payments and we can divide this up for you? You do have to pay a fee for that, It's just not going to be free. Of course, we're going to charge you for that. I can imagine that's how the call went. I really can. And the man couldn't get anywhere. Just tried to call over and over and over again. They just kicked the can. Oh, I'm not going to deal with that. The news get involved. And that's either after he contacted a darn senator. Like, that's ridiculous.
Char Willard, you was too smooth with that. That something tells me you used to work for the water company.
I did not. I'm just a good customer. That's what I am. I'm a customer, and I've been on that other side. So I'm like, hey, I try to be nice. No sense yelling at the person on the other end. They're the ones trying to help me. So,
well, tell us about that time you got that $5,000 phone bill that said you called Africa.
I got one of those.
That didn't happen, but it was kind of close. I got was it $200 or $300? I did get a call. I did get a phone bill from Sprint because I had changed over from Verizon to Sprint. And It was supposed to have been $80, and this is back when you had the minutes and all that kind of stuff. And I went on vacation, and I was calling customer service, which is 611. Well, they said that I was supposed to pay for that. I said, why? I was calling you. I don't care where I was. I think I was in Mexico, I think, at the time when I called. I said, but I called you. So why are you going to charge me to call you? So they like, okay, forget that. However, they added just some random numbers, and they all were 1 minute long, and they were back to back, and was like maybe 3 pages, if not more. So when I called, they had me to hold on for a while, and then they came back, and the lady said, well, we can remove $50. So you're going to remove all of it. I didn't make any of these calls, ma'am. And she had me to hold on again. She came back, and I heard some giggling. And then she said, well, ma'am, we can take $75 off. I said, I didn't make any of these calls. I said, I don't know any of these numbers. I said, never heard of them. So I would like for you to tell me who the phone belongs to that I'm supposed to have called. And it was silence. And I'm like, this is a scam. I realized this is a scam. So I was, done with her that night. And then the next day when I was at work, I took my lunch break, and I got all the way I got close to corporate, and they end up removing all the charges. And then after I got that, all the charges removed, then I left the company altogether. I was only with them for 3 months.
Wow. That's ridiculous.
Yep, that's what they did to me. Just numbers back to back, like 1 through 7, from 12 o'clock to 12:01. The next call 12:01 to 12:02.
Sometimes billing systems can glitch. I told y'all before about I worked at a company that had a complete billing system. Like they upgraded it or changed it to something else, and then the bills people were getting, like the entire province of this was getting charged long distance and roaming for every minute they used, plus per minute charges, even though they had unlimited nights and weekends, like crazy things. People were getting bills for like $100,000, like just ridiculous stuff. But and actually, what kind of messed people up is, so, when you say with the water thing, well, why wasn't there some type of warning or limit? Well, it's because warnings or limits aren't built into the system until someone shows there's a need for them. So like in the case of the whole, hey, we got to send you a warning thing. I know that someone in my family, it won't name names, whatever, or at least family friends, is responsible for this. Now, she had her normal little bill that included unlimited nights and weekends, right? She was like, I think 18 or 19, 17. No, she was younger than that because she was still in high school. So maybe 15. And anyway, then she got herself a man, her first real boyfriend. She's in love, and he lives in Jamaica. So she's calling him all the time and talking to him all the time, right? And so the end of the month comes, and her parents get a bill for like, I can't even remember how much. It was ridiculous. It was tens of thousands, maybe not closer to $100,000, right? And they're like, well, what? So they call the company thinking, oh, this must be a scam, right? Or like, what something must have went wrong. No, couldn't find out, nothing went wrong. She's calling her man, right? And so then their next question was, similarly to what this guy said, if the usage was getting anywhere near this far out of bounds, why wouldn't you warn us? Why wouldn't you send us some type of notification, call, something, right? They didn't have that set into place at the time. I remember it even made the news. That's how much of a big deal this was at the time. And, shortly thereafter, they did start setting in all these different types of limitations. So now when, for example, when I traveled to somewhere in the States, I can't remember where it was, I added roaming packages onto my phone. But the dude who was supposed to add them onto my phone didn't actually add it. Thank God he noted everything. Thank God, because it was like hours and hours of conversation to work out what was going to be best for me. But, because I got charged roaming, long distance, and some other extra fee for when you use the internet, roaming and whatever, per minute for everything I use for my 10-day trip. But as soon as the bill started being generated and the system saw it, someone called me like right away. And they're like, okay, we don't know, maybe someone cloned your phone or whatever. I'm like, no, I was in the States, but I should be covered. It should be a couple $100 extra, not, 75,000 here and then an extra 25,000 there and whatever, right? But prior to the person in my family, there were no limits built in. It was just, oh, well, you got the bill. Good luck. Right?
Wow.
Make sure you pay us on time. Yeah. So it's funny they said that with the water bill, because this does happen all the time. Same thing with electricity and whatever, where some type of problem, some type of glitch happens. And then a lot of people don't look at their bills very closely. It's normally only if it's like astronomically different, like 10,000. But sometimes it'll be like only $100 or $200 extra. And it's not actually real. Like you didn't do anything to accrue those charges, but they don't have any systems in place. They have no checks and balances when it comes to the utilities and stuff. So I think that's a good point. Someone needs to lobby. We need to lobby, guys. Let's band together and lobby.
Okay.
So they can't overcharge us for water, something that should be free anyway. Just saying.
Right.
Right? Water. How dare you charge me and then think you there's not an amount of water I could have used that you think it's okay to charge me $10,000 for it. There's not. Because water should be free. You don't own the water. So how are you selling it to me at such a premium? No. Just no.
I would have owed them forever. Forever.
Damn.
Yeah, I would have got that. Wow. You got anything on that, Jack, before we move on to the next story?
Nope. No water bill or phone bill tales for me.
All right. So next thing is credit card scam. We've heard a lot about those credit card skimmers. They're out there. I've never run into one. I'm very happy about that. But please be careful, because I'm telling you, it is a lot of stuff going on out there. You just, the amount of stories, I mean, I can go a couple of days nonstop. That's how bad it is. But we're going to take a listen to what happened here. And I'm going to give my girl a high five because she was on it. Here we go.
Swiping your credit card, something you probably do every single day without even really thinking much about it. But police in McKinney now are working to find out how many people had their information stolen by a credit card skimmer inside of a 7-Eleven. Tonight, CBS 11's J.D. Miles has a remarkable story of a woman who discovered the skimmer after she became a victim.
Credit card skimmers account for $1 billion in fraud each year in the U.S. When you see how well hidden the one found inside this store was, you'll understand why. It was a regular daily trip to this 7-Eleven on Medical Center Drive in McKinney for Nigel Radler.
I was just trying to get chips and a bottle of water.
She paid with a credit card as usual, but later noticed that her drink and soda cost her nearly $1,000.
Wow, that must have been some gold and chips. And some gold and water too. Some silver chips and gold water. Whew.
The 25-year-old went back to the 7-Eleven where she last used the card and found out why.
I'm like, hey, something happened with my card. Let me check the machine and see something. And I just literally lifted it up and it was there.
She discovered a credit card scammer that's now in the hands of McKinney police detectives. Thanks to Rattler's quick thinking, they are trying to determine who installed it and how many people were victimized.
So I think it's pretty smart of her to really sit down and think about where the compromise actually happened.
Police say the skimmer is made of a replacement cover likely purchased online by a criminal, outfitted with a computer board that can be accessed wirelessly and placed on top of the store's identical credit card reader. Corporal Melissa Taylor says the case is a good reminder to always perform a test before using an ATM, buying gas, or making a purchase inside a store.
These are double back taped on in most cases. So if you try to pull the cover off of an ATM, the keypad, the point that you put your credit card in, it's going to come off.
The store's owner issued a statement which says 7-Eleven takes allegations involving credit card skimmers very seriously. 7-Eleven inspects gas pumps and card readers regularly and cooperates closely with law enforcement regarding related investigations. Customers who believe they may have been impacted should call 1-800-255-0711. The young mother who helped others from becoming victims is still waiting to have her fraudulent charges reimbursed.
I can only just wait for the process and hope that everything comes out all right.
McKinney police want to hear from anyone who might have been a victim to contact the department's non-emergency number. One option to avoid any risk is to start using digital wallet services, which don't require an actual credit card.
What really bothers me on this is 7-Eleven is technically open all day long, 24 hours a day. So was it really the machine was not attended at any time? And if so, are they able to go back with the cameras and kind of look and try to find out who it could have been? I'm just wondering.
Most places,
That's a mess.
the camera only loops for 24 hours. So if it's something that had been done months ago, nah.
Yeah, and see with that, I don't even get that. I would not have anything like that. My service, I would create a service. We're going to keep that stuff for a year and a half. Of course, you're going to pay, but it'll be worth it. It'll be a year and a half. I have all the footage. What you need? What day? Oh, back in 2021. Okay, I got that for you. Here you go. Because you never know. You need that stuff. And remember all the when people first started having cameras, but they were so grainy. And I was upset. I was looking like, you can't see who that is. That's all you got. That's the best you can do. But a lot of cameras now are much better. And I'm hoping that everyone just continues to just pay for it. It's part of your business. Can save your life. Shoot.
I think what it comes down to is, and here's the thing, right? Most of these places, any type of convenience store, gas station, anything like that, only has one employee working on off-peak time, right? And so if that employee needs to move from behind the register for any reason, it would be very easy. So like, let's say there's someone who has an issue over there by their fridges and freezers or whatever, right? So you just need two people working in conjunction with each other, because while that one person's getting help, now as soon as the person goes away, all that guy's got to do is stand in front of the little ATM thing, right? Pull this thing out from under his sweater, put it on, good to go, right? He probably even used the ATM the first time. Right? So you don't think there's anything amiss, right? You're just, oh, you have to use the ATM, cool, right? And who knows, hasn't memorized exactly what it looks like? No, I think that's 4 millimeters larger than it was before. Like, no one's looking, right? So I can see how very easily this could be done. And, as soon as they come up with one way to catch people doing this type of ATM pin thing scam, they just come up with another way to scam people out of it. That's like the one scam that's happened to me. And I initially, when luckily again, my bank caught it, they called me. They're like, so have you been to Bangladesh anytime in the last 24 hours? Nope. No, I haven't. They're like, hey, we didn't think so because you were apparently in Ontario and then you were in Montreal and then you were in Bangladesh for a little while. And I was like, no, I definitely wouldn't. They're like, okay, that's good. Oh, wait. I'm like, what? They're like, you don't want to know. No, I want to know. They're like, you just bought a TV in Ireland. I was like, what? Right? So it's like, what the hell? So they traced it back and they're like, okay, and this is what the banks do. So they traced it back. They're like, okay, so first they started spending on this and this, movie tickets, little things to see, I guess, if you catch it and then stop them. And then they make increasingly bigger and bigger purchases. So they have to trace back from the very first purchase, right? Like, where have you used your card at all? And the only place I had used my card at an ATM, I knew exactly what store it was at that point, everything. I could tell them because I rarely use ATMs. And if I do, I normally go to my home branch, right? I don't go to like random ones, but I used a random one once. And they had one of those things that it steals the magnetic strip, whatever it was, right? So then they came up with these chips, right? And so, okay, well, now you can't just steal it with the magnetic strip. So now you got a chip. So now they have another thing that, you know what I mean? Like they just keep finding new ways to scam people. So, good luck.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I no longer is a fan of gift cards. Because I actually got gift cards through a point system with a credit card I had. And I went to redeem it and it had nothing on it. And I'm like, hey, well, no one touched anything. I scratched it off. I did everything. And but it was used in Hawaii. I'm like, no. And the lady laughed and she said, yeah, I'm pretty sure you didn't travel from Chicago to Hawaii in the amount of time that we given you this card. So don't worry about it. So ever since then, I never got a card through the credit card system. I'm like, I'm good. No thanks. I was just trying to, use the points for that, but I'll use it for something else. Yeah, magazines, anything else. I'm good.
Right? Damn.
Wow. Yeah, but they're good. They're getting good. And one story I was going to share tonight, I'm not, but these folks, they are something else. I'm telling you. Let's see what I got next here. I did the young lady. Oh, let's go with the employee because I always have questions. That's just how I am. I have questions, and my questions are: why is it that you think that you can steal from your employer, and they not know? Those are always my questions. I mean, why did you think for one moment that you were going to be able to steal money? Because, it doesn't matter that they're coins, it's still money. Why did you think that you're going to work for the company and take the money and no one will find out?
Right.
I always have questions like that. Do you understand when it comes down to being an armored car person? You're fingerprinted. There's so many different systems, and your information is out there just everywhere because they must make sure that if you were to flee, that pretty much every known place that you possibly would go and wherever you were born and your parents are, they want that information. So why do you think that it was a good idea to just grab some coins and they weren't going to miss it? I don't get it, but okay, I'm going to read the story and maybe, I doubt it, but maybe we can get some answers. Maybe someone can chime in and explain it to me because I just have questions.
Yeah, I'm interested in that part too. I would like to, but I'm gonna reserve my questions until you read the story.
Okay. Chicago man stole $537,000 in coins while working as an armored car driver. He gets probation. A Chicago man pleads guilty of stealing $537,088.22 in coins while he was working as an armored car driver in 2019 between May and August. Okay, May and August. That's a very short window to steal over $500,000. I just had to stop and just say that. But anyway, let me keep reading. Good Lord. 31-year-old Cameron Bowen received a sentence of 24 months probation after he pled guilty of felony theft. Habercorn ordered him to pay $525,000 in restitution to his former employer, Dillon's. Okay, let me scroll down, and I heard someone come up. And there we go. And then let me go back to, oops, I removed it, my bad. Go back to the story. Where was I? Over there. Okay. Dillon's management called police in August 2019 after they found discrepancies in Bowen's transactions. Prosecutors allege Bowen stole the coins by entering incorrect dollar amounts into the company's computer system after completing his rounds and taking the difference. Initially, Bowen didn't admit to any wrongdoing after he was asked about the missing coins, but he would later ask if he could leave and come back with the money. Then about an hour later, he came back to the office with a bag of $25,300 in $100 bills. Police didn't say what Bowman did with all the coins the company accused him of stealing. Bowen's partner was forthcoming with information, police said. Okay, so the partner said, "Man, I got a good gig. I ain't trying to get up in no trouble. I got mouths to feed. This is a great gig. I can carry a gun. I feel powerful with these coins. It's money. It's a good salary. They got a pension. I ain't got much to do. I'm not losing that. When I saw you, move them coins over here and there, I ain't say nothing. I wasn't going to say nothing, man, but, now that they come to me, I ain't losing my job for you. You were a dummy. You did some foolish stuff like that. Man, you thought they were not going to miss $500,000? You thought they weren't going to miss anything? Oh, so you're just going to say, oh, well, I only collect this much over here, I only collect that much over there, and they ain't going to say nothing. Were you crazy? And the answer was yes, he was. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, well.
What an idiot.
Greetings, Vonda. Greetings, Miss Regina.
Hey, Char, happy late birthday. And Miss Regina, happy birthday. And I know little Ruby got one coming, but we'll wait for you. And hey, Jack Spade, how's everybody doing this evening?
What's up?
Doing well. Good evening, and thank you so much. Thank you. How are you?
Good.
Great. I think this guy was dumb. That this was an idiot move to make. And this could get him a lot of time, $500,000. Yeah. And like you said, Char, where did he think he was going with this, and how did he think they were not going to miss it? $537,000 worth of coin is very heavy. The weightage is not adding up here.
That's a good one.
It's not. This is crazy. I mean, I don't know. I hate to judge people on they look, but he looked like he would take something. Damn it, or just that's maybe the way he just took the picture. But damn it, he looked like he would take a lot of stuff.
That is so sad, though. I mean, that was a great gig, and this is what I want to point out too. When it comes to Black males, you know how hard it is in Chicago. I can say that. For a lot of our Black males to get a job that is going to feed a family, it is very hard. I kid you not. And it's very unfortunate too. So this guy got a chance to be certified, trained, be able to earn a good living. And he risked it with some coins. For some darn coins. It's sad. It's sad. I know his family is very disappointed with him.
Well, okay, so did it say, what was going to happen to him? I mean, what type of time he's looking at? And he brought it all back? Every bit of it?
Oh no. He only came up with 25,000.
Oh, hell no. He did not put this much money in the kids' piggy banks.
$25,300 is all he came back with.
Oh, you're going to jail, baby. You are going to jail.
And to get a felony, that's another thing. Our black brothers getting felonies. It's hard out here. You just certain things you just don't need on your record. They when it come down to the dominant society, they don't get a lot of felonies, and when they do, they still get a chance.
Oh, they can get some fantastic felonies and still end up with a better chance than you.
Exactly. And that's why I'm like, that's what was so upsetting to me. Because I happen to know someone, and it's a woman though, that does this for a living. She makes good money. Good money. That's why I know about this, and that's why I'm so sad, because a brother got a chance,
No.
Man.
No, this
I know he knows now it wasn't worth it.
And I think it's a little on the petty side. My thing is that, everything that you have to deal with regards to, getting caught and, the criminal record and the smudging of your name and not being able to, get any type of a trusted job. Be like, you try to get a job at the bank. No, he stole or she stole $537,000, and never gave it back. My thing is, I would think that if I were going to, do some sort of crime like that, where I'm going to steal money from my job, it's going to be the type of money to where they're going to be like, who? I'm going to disappear. That means like I'm disappearing, like witness protection. Nobody's going to know where I'm at. That means I have to leave the whole family. That's how much money it is, because they won't be able to find me with this amount of money. This amount of money, I'm going to be off grid, offshore, bank accounts. If they still do that, I don't know. It used to be the Cayman Islands or Switzerland or whatever.
Right.
But so that's what I'm trying to do. And there will be no trace of me. I'm not doing that and just going to go right back home. That's crazy.
And they're going to knock on your door. Do. We need to see you, sir.
Where's the logic in that? I don't know if they even put a thought into these crimes. That's why, like, when I watch, like these bank heists and things like that, for me, where the excitement comes is the planning. I get excited at the planning when they be like, oh, this ain't gonna work, or we need to do this and we need to have. I'm like, I just love it. Yeah. I love the planning, because I'm like, yeah, this plan has to be, airtight, because we can't afford any mess ups. I've watched all the movies, the Dead Presidents, where they did the robbery to set it off, where they did the robberies, and, even the old time bank robberies. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, it's something, the plan is always spoiled some kind of way, but I just be like, that's where I'd be like in the planning. Because my thing is, I want them to get away. Hopefully, if they didn't kill anybody, I want them to get away,
Vonda's rooting for the bad guys. Yeah. Rudy establishment.
For real. And you know what? With the bank robbery, I have always, and when I think about it, I have always rooted for the bank robber. I mean, usually the bank robbers they don't kill. They do sometimes, but they usually just want the money and they're out of there. So I'm like, I see it as a harmless crime. Of course, people's money is being taken and all of that. But I mean, it's not violent. I mean, for the most part, it's just taking some money.
Girl, listen, if you have to pull out a gun to get your non-violent crime accomplished, it's a violent crime. And because at the end of the day, whether you got shot, you saw someone get shot, or you just had a gun in your face, the trauma to the people observing and in that situation is the same. So, while I'm not, trying to say that there aren't maybe extenuating circumstances, like you've got a bomb strapped to you and, the kidnapper is gonna, slaughter your kids or something.
With a note,
Yeah. Right? Like, that's different though. But like, versus the ones who are like, well, we just like Ocean's 11 or whatever, right? Like, no, I want you to fail. I want you to but here's my thing with this guy. Was the theft, was it all at once, or was it over time? The 536.
It was in a few months from May to August.
So see, now you have to think about the logic of not the crime itself, but what was he really doing? He thought to himself, first of all, no one cares about change, right? He probably even had this discussion with his idiot friends one day over some beers, right? No, the thing that people really take account of is the paper bills, you know. No one's taking account of no little, you know, pocket change. No one cares about the pocket change. You can take a little pocket change and they'll just think it just spilled, right? So that's what he was thinking. Probably, right? It just changed. No one's gonna, if you just take a little bit at a time, no one's gonna notice, or they're gonna think that, you know, you can lose 10% of the money. Apparently you can. Oh, it's the dishwasher. I'm like, what is singing like that? Anyway, but you can lose like 10% of the money or something like that, and no one notices it. I think they know there's actually a particular amount of money that these, from, you know, all the transfers into the actual place and whatever, that they know that they lose. So I think he was just thinking, if he just takes the part of the money no one cares about as much, i.e. the coins, right? And he just takes a little bit at a time within that 10% range he's thinking to himself, right? That he's, man, it's a victimless crime and no one will even notice. Right. So it wasn't about mass. It wasn't about, you know, he just thought he was going to be able to do this forever.
So
right.
You
So
think
now
that's how he did it, like handfuls at a time, like, you know, walked away each day with pockets full of change and
right. He just had some pocket change, right?
Yeah,
He started with pocket change.
There's no way he could have done that. There's just no way.
Right.
That's a lot of
a
bad.
short time, May to August, $500,000. No,
7 days a week. Hold on,
He
let's
didn't
see how much
work
he would have
7
had.
days a week.
Girl,
Okay,
that's
fine.
way
5
over
days a
that
week.
much.
5 days a week.
He
Let me
was
see.
probably part-time at 3 days a week.
Well,
And
I'm
he
gonna
was
say
trying
5 days a week.
He was trying to make
Okay.
it up and change. That's what he was doing. The 2 days that he didn't work, he wanted to have a couple handfuls of change.
Okay, so how many days? So what was that? 4 months we said? 4 months?
Yes.
Divided by 4. So it's 134,000. So now let's divide that by 4. So it's 33,000 per week. So let's divide that by 5. It's like, okay, fine. $6,000 in coins is a lot of coins.
Right.
Yes. His pockets are heavy.
But you know what? I still think that, okay, I still think the logic had to do with the fact that coins are not important, whereas in paper money is. Because you always hear them talking about the paper money and them printing paper bills and paper bills. All the focus is on paper bills, right? So I can see where the logic starts coming in, where it's like no one's going to care about the coins like that because you never hear them talk about it or focus on it. You know, bank robbers, they're not protecting the coins. No one's trying to rob people of coins. They're too damn heavy, right? Like that's just what it is. So I think it had something to do with that. I think he was honestly thinking he would be able to get away with this and he was just going to keep doing it a little bit at a time forever. Okay, fine. Maybe it's a little more than I said initially, but you know, I still think it was a little bit at a time. Just, you know, just, yeah. $6,000 a week. That's not that bad of a profit if you think about it. And if you can get away with $6,000 a week for a couple of years, you're set.
Wow. Do you know what he was probably doing as he was taking the change? This fool wasn't collecting it. I mean, because he was spending it. He was taking it to like the grocery store where they have that little change thing, and he was, you know, put all the change in there, and he would go to the cashier, buy the groceries, you know, get the extra money. That's what he was doing. I think you know what, he probably became addicted to that. Think about it. You have all this pocket full of money and you just put in that thing and money comes out. You're like, oh my God. He probably got addicted to that. And he was thinking that was his job. He's like, yeah, my job pays good. No, Earl, it does not.
Right.
This is why you're stealing all the change. Oh gosh, he just got a little greedy, and I think he got real comfortable with it. And they was like, you know what, it's at 100. Okay, no, we're gonna let it build up a little bit more before we call Earl into the office and ask him, do you want to tell us something?
What? I ain't got nothing.
You might as well face it. You addicted to coins.
Yes.
Right. I heard about something like that with pennies, right? Because they're like, oh, they were basically discontinuing pennies here, and so someone decided they wanted to take them. Well, like that, they weren't gonna just discontinue the pennies and that's it.
Like,
no one cares about that money. millions of dollars gone. Like, no, they were gonna do something, gonna account for it, melt it down,
you know, a statue or some mess.
No, but they were going to convert the amount of money that they were melting down into some other type of currency. They weren't going to just trash it, and that's just no longer in our circulation anymore,
Oh,
right?
like dead presidents where they just boing the money. They wasn't going to just boing it.
Well, I mean, probably not if they had any type of common sense, and but it's like people don't think. I think and it's because of the way we treat change versus cash money, right? Like people will like, oh, it's so annoying. They have to try to find the change. It's like change is annoying for the majority of people. They would rather just have a $5 bill or a $10 bill and just use that. They would rather, maybe a quarter. Maybe a quarter is all right, but like when you start getting the smaller change, people get annoyed, right? Because it just ends up being cluttery. So I think that's what it is. It's just like we don't see change as important,
right?
As
just
paper
look at
money.
it as miscellaneous,
Mm-hmm.
But hey, I want to answer a question for Emmanuel. He said, how'd he get out the building with all that change jingling and nobody heard it? Emmanuel, did you see this dude? He's very fluffy. There was nothing jingling and making change noise on him. He was able to put that money in his belly, in his pockets, and just disguise it as one of his other roles. If he was a thin dude, a little skinny dude, then he couldn't get out of there with no bulges. But this guy just packed it on. It wasn't just all loose and jangling in his pocket. His pockets were like, tight with the change. He stuffed them.
Well, I mean, but like 6,700, and that was going by 5 days a week, right? Is a lot of change. I mean, because if you remember, I remember we did a story once on someone paying their last child support or something like that in like pennies, and then they poured it on the driveway. It was a lot of money, right? And that was like, it wasn't even $1,000. So if you think about it,
that was
60. That's a lot of money.
That
would be like a whole hymn of coins. You know what I mean? Like, what did you do with it? There had to be a lot. That's a good point. What did he do with it?
Okay, so they're saying coins. Now when they say coins, I'm gonna assume it's a assorted mix of coins, or that was just damn. Where the quarters at? Okay, is it me? But when I've noticed when I go to the store and I've used cash a few times, and my change be like 87 cents, them fools is counting out 8 dimes, and I'm like, where can I get some quarters? They're not giving out quarters anymore. So are we short on quarters in America?
Maybe.
You know what? You guys just Google $1,000 in quarters. Because you know what? It's not actually, I'm sure it's heavy as hell, but it's actually not, if it was in quarters, it's not that much. Like you could get the 6,000 out. I mean, again, I feel like it never, maybe he dropped the money somewhere. Do you know what I mean? Like he dropped the money off somewhere or out somewhere. Instead of putting it into the truck, he put it under the truck, something. Because I'm like, there's no way. It is, I think, too much when you think about it overall. Like, how could you get away with it? It seems like it's too much. And I'm sure they must have some type of scanners when you're going in and out.
Ruby, I used to count money. I used to, be a vault clerk, and I used to count, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And we'd have to order change because we'd have to give change. So I would have to put in orders to the bank, for, I need $1,000 in quarters. I need 500 in pennies. Well, maybe not 500 in pennies. That's a lot. $50 in pennies, and I would order that, and you really get the gist of what change weighs. So, I mean, 500, you know what? He wasn't taking it like that. For him not to be noticed, and let's just say it was quarters. I'm going to assume it was quarters. Hopefully it was, because if it was just really a sorted mix of coins, and for him to amass that great amount of money, and it was only strictly coins and no bills, he was doing it like it was a job. He was taking that money and concealing it. That was a job. The way he was doing it, because coins, they do add up. And he could fit $500 worth of quarters on his body. He could fit $500 worth of quarters on his body.
500, yeah. I just did $5,000 in, what does $5,000 in quarters look like? It basically fills an entire one of those, those big cartons of Huggies or the diapers, right?
Oh, wow.
I posted it in the private chat. So you can see. I mean, and because when you think about it, it's like, okay, 5,000, that's a lot. Okay. And, that was multiple 5,000s at a time. He would have to be taking it out and, still more than that. But I'm like, when you think about how heavy that box would be.
That you can't even lift that box. That box is going to be reinforced. Yeah. You lift that box, all those quarters are coming out.
Yeah.
So that's just giving you an idea of like what it looks like, the size and what it looks like. Oh yeah, that's about right.
Right? So you're like size, but then it's the weight. If he could not have layered himself in that much weight, it just walked like normally. Like
at one time.
Yeah, see, look how big that is. That's a lot of quarters, but it's like that would be heavy as hell.
Right.
But see, I'm thinking if he was taking, let's say he was taking 500 per shift, it would take him a few days to get that 5,000 just to get that.
But he's not. He's taking $6,712 per shift in order for, and that was going by 5 days a week that he was working. He never took a day off for 4 months.
Crazy. If he was doing that, like I said, he was like on his lunch break, he was going home or he was taking some coins and putting them to the side. He had a stash place. He had to have had a stash place to where he was stashing the coins until he could get to them after work. But he had to do multiple runs. Like I said, yeah, I'm sure he lost some weight doing that. It was like he had to be sweating like crazy.
Right? You know what? Maybe he was dropping it. Okay, guys, I know, fine. Maybe I've watched one too many of these movies Fonda was talking about earlier, right? But maybe, right, he would park over, those manholes or like where there are grates like in the curb sort of that go into the sewer. And maybe he would just, drop something, pretend he's picking it up and just kick it in there, right? And he's like, I just got to fish it out. No one else knows it's there. It's just me, right? I'm just saying, it might be a good idea. Not for y'all to do, right? Not for y'all to do. Don't ever try this at home. But, it would be an easy way to not like be that obvious about it. You're putting in all the bags, a whole bunch of bags fall. And then when you're picking up all the bags, you just happen to nudge one or two down a grate, right? And there you go, or down a manhole. The open manhole underneath your truck that no one can see because it's underneath the truck, right? Hey, you gotta be inventive when you're trying to steal as the armored car driver.
Terrible, just terrible.
You know what? He did that over some months, and I'm gonna tell you, you can't tell me that fool did not have a damn upset stomach every day. There's no way you can do that type of stealing and you're not nervous. Like, oh my God, they're gonna find out today. They're gonna find out. Oh yeah, we'd like to see you in the office. You going? Oh my God, do they know? Do they know? And oh yeah, you had OT, and so we want you to sign right here. Cause okay, whew. Every day, you can't tell me this man was not a nervous wreck. He had to be a nervous wreck, not unless he's just a natural born. Natural born. Some people are.
Gee,
that's for sure.
All right. Well, next up, we got a stranger inside. A stranger who moved into Chicago home reveals why she refuses to leave. Yeah, she said, I ain't going nowhere. I ain't leaving. What you gonna do about it? Well, let's hear about it.
Story last week. Now community leaders are involved, and the woman living inside the home is finally sharing her side of the story. Community activist Andrew Holmes, along with 6th Ward Alderman Roderick Sawyer, look for answers as they visit a home owned by Danielle Cruz. Cruz says a stranger moved into her Chatham home and refuses to leave. When you saw this story, you called me immediately. You were outraged. Can you tell me why?
You do not have a right to take anybody's home. I don't care who you are.
This all started when Cruz put her house on the market several weeks ago. Cruz says shortly after, she got a call from her contractor informing her that all of her locks were changed and an unknown woman had moved inside. Since this first story aired, Cruz says she's heard from people all over the country.
Why do you think this story struck a chord with so many people?
Because they know it can happen to anyone.
Cruz told me when she learned the woman moved into her home, she called police. But officers said because the woman presented a lease, it's a civil matter. Police referred Cruz to the eviction courts. Cruz says she's never met the woman before and never gave her a lease. She believes the woman inside is a squatter. Alderman Sawyer also saw the story and decided to get involved. The home is in his ward.
What we need to do is work on state law, our city partners, to make sure that we have outlined the rights and responsibilities of owners as it relates to trespassers. They have currently more rights than current owners do.
Again, aldermen can't do nothing.
Oh my goodness.
They don't do nothing but collect checks, show up on the when it comes down to that Bud Billiken parade they have every year.
That's how you're gonna say the parade. They stay there at the parade always.
They wave and everything. And then when it's time to vote for their raise, they're right there. Other than that, useless. I'll continue. That's my
all I need an alderman for is to slip the honeys through the front and the back door. That's all I need them for.
Oh my
Let's
God,
continue.
Jack. What honeys? Lead them
The two
bees
community
alone.
leaders
Lead them
joined
bees
Cruz to
alone.
get answers. They said they saw the woman in question and another adult with a child, but no one wanted to come out and talk.
It's not that we just want to put them out on the street. We want to make sure that they're okay as well. But we do want to, first of all, restore the balance back to the rightful owners.
Moments later, the woman inside called the police.
Are you able to tell us what she said?
I can't comment.
About 5 minutes later, the woman inside invited Holmes in. He was there for about 40 minutes. And while he was there, Holmes convinced the woman to call me to share her side of the story. She told me she's the victim of a scam and that she paid someone $3,000 up front to rent the Chatham property. She says she signed a lease and paid the person in cash. As for who gave her the lease, she says she can't locate or reach them now. She says she wouldn't just break into someone's home and that she isn't a bad person. And while she plans to move out eventually, she wasn't going to just leave and end up on the street. She says the only time Cruz and her husband have tried to talk to her was when the police showed up. But she says they haven't tried to work anything out with her since. Cruz tells me that simply isn't true.
It was my husband who she directly told. He offered her $1,000 to $2,000 to move out, and she basically laughed in his face and said that she wanted $8,000 and she would leave.
Okay. I'm going to have to understand what the tenant is saying. If you want me to leave, I can't just get up and leave with $1,000 or $2,000. That's not going to work for me. I got to find a place. I got to put down a down payment. I got whoever I got in my house, a family. I need some more money. So either I'm going to live out this 1 year lease that I got and leave, or you're going to give me $8,000 so I can put some money down, because I'm going to need to do that, and then I'll move. Yes.
Okay, cool. No, that's
So
perfect.
you mean to tell me?
No, but
you mean to
hold
tell
on,
me that past?
hold on.
She want to mess with me. Go ahead.
But here's the thing, right? So she said she signed a lease, right? But now she can't find that person. But she signed a lease and apparently had either this woman or her husband's name on it, right? And it was signed, and it's a signed lease. So where's their $3,000 a month? Because I want to know. Because if that's how much she paid $3,000 up front to move in, right? And then she's paying $3,000 a month. So where's the rent? Because the way I see it, if you think you're a legal tenant, then you need to be paying someone rent.
That's all I had to pay. That's my agreement.
That's what I was going ready to ask. So she paid a whole year lease for $3,000. Where's that? Is there another one?
She put that down, and she thought she had a good deal for 1 year, and she like, I ain't leaving.
Which is fine, but pay your rent then. Where's the rent? I'm just looking for the rent, because until they pay the rent, I don't believe her. If she said, listen, I can't find the person I signed a lease to, but I left the rent check in the mailbox. You know what I mean? I would be like, maybe she's telling the truth. Maybe. I mean, no, seriously. But that's not what happened.
I know what you're saying. Now I would say honestly, if she doesn't try to get in contact with the person so the police can at least find this person, then I would say, yeah, she's just scamming. But if she actually can or is paying somebody and won't get that person up, then no, that's
Then
not
then
right.
once she found out it was a scam, she probably immediately stopped paying. She's not paying anybody right now. So my thing is, maybe the whole story, somebody slipped in, got the place, rented it to her, but now she knows she's in the cat seat bird right now. And she's like, okay, so I don't even have to keep paying, this fool over here because they don't even own this property. This is their property. But you know what? Because of what's happened, and I know my rights as quote unquote squatters' rights, because I'm sure that's probably the law that they're using or whatever. She's like, wow, I don't even have to leave, and she can still spin the narrative and still be a victim. But there's probably a portion where she's savvy and she's like, you know what? I can milk 6 months out of this. I can milk or longer, depending on how egregious she is,
That's true.
Hey, I can milk, a few months out of this, get my money up and be on my way, because these people can't do anything to me. Legally, they can't do anything.
Nope. I think they just literally. No, I think she was just driving by her and her man, and they said, "You want to live there, baby?
Ruby,
you want to live there, baby?
You come out with these scenarios.
No, I'm telling you, this is what happened. Baby, I'd love to live in a house like that one day. Yo, baby, you want to live there? Yeah, one day, somewhere like that. No, do you want to live at that one? Babe, we can't just live there. Why not? Trust me,
Ruby.
So, right? Hold on. Let me look up this address real quick on Facebook. Right? They found out they weren't home. They went, all right, come on, baby, let's go. Let's get some locks. That was it.
I had a book of these Ruby stories. I'm telling you.
Now don't stop her. Don't stop her. Let her snitch on herself.
It's Ruby's book of, excuse my language, fuckery with the PH.
Yes. Yes.
Like, Ruby.
Yo, listen. Though I believe this woman who's standing right there telling us, okay, that they tried to pay this woman to leave. They tried to give her back her money, and she said, "Sure, you pay me $8 grand, I'll go." You give me $8 grand. No, they did not think they were in any type of legal anything. They did not. They did not care. Okay, they knew what they were doing, and they said, "Yo, worst case scenario, let's say they're real serious. Maybe we can get 10, 15, maybe even 25 G's out of the deal too, baby." Really? You think so, honey? You really think so, baby?
Where she's like, you know what? I'm gonna be a victim. This person over here, and I've been trying to reach him, and I can't reach him. You're like, okay, well, let's draw up another contract, and you gonna start paying us some rent.
Nope. You know how I know that wouldn't happen? Okay, so Mr. Rubes owns a house, right? And what had happened was, basically, a family member's spouse illegally rented out the space. Let's put it that way, okay? Illegally rented out the space to someone else for money that was not agreed upon. Mr. Rubes and I weren't receiving nothing, right? You know what happened when Buddy found out he was illegally renting? He went, "Yo, I did not know. I'm so sorry. Yo, I honestly, I thought everything was on the up and up. You know what I mean? I really thought that this was the spouse's place, and I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'll go. Is there anything you need from me? Because I honestly didn't know." Right? That's what you do when you are put in a situation and someone put you into an illegal situation, someone set you up, screwed you over, whatever. You're just as eager to punish the person who lied to you, who scammed you and whatever. You don't immediately say, "I'm going to scam the people who own this house." That's not what you would do. No.
Push back, Ruby. Nope. I'm going to push back. I'm about to be the Ruby in this situation. You can be Wanda all you want. I'm about to be the Ruby. Excuse me, but I have a child here, and you know what? You don't know what situation I just came from, and I just cannot just up and leave because now you want your place back when this other person is, apparently rented. How do I know you guys are not in cahoots and trying to jip me out of my money? No, I have a child here, and it's going to take me some time. I'm still on maternity leave, and I have to get myself back together.
Girl, this is how you know. Because about the 3rd to 5th to 7th to 12th, how many days you got to call the person that supposedly is your landlord before you understand that's not your landlord? I want to know. Because, and then it's very easy. Because you see the mail in the house, you see the pictures all over the place, you see everything that tells you that those people own this house, first of all, okay? But because it's not like the house is empty. Their stuff is in it. They live there. Do you see what I'm saying? But okay, fine. Right, so you got a kid though, and whatever, so you got scammed. You know what you would do as a mother? You would say, "Listen, this is a situation. Let me explain to you what happened. I'm going to tell you what happened. This is a predicament I'm in now. I don't have anywhere else to go, right? Like I had saved up that money, so on and so forth. This was like kind of like the best I could do. I spent money to move, right? Like I literally do not have the finances and funds to do anything else at this point, right? So while I feel horrible for you guys too, like I have a kid here. Like what am I supposed to do, right? Because then again, as a mother, you'd be appealing to those people to care about your life, to help reimburse you, and then y'all can go together towards the courts to, you know, fight against a third person. You would do something. What you wouldn't do is stonewall those people and say, yo, you pay me $8,000, I'll be out. Other than that, bye. That's not what you would do. It's not. It's just not what you would do if you had gotten scammed too. They're scammers.
I'm still breastfeeding. You are stressing me out, and my milk is not going to be good for my baby.
Please.
So I'm giving you a cease and desist. Don't bother me anymore.
That is nonsense modern women say, okay? You can't tell me that. No.
I need $8,000.
Listen, women get better, not worse, at multitasking during pregnancy. Let's be real. They get baby brain and whatever, but it's because their brains are rewiring altogether. Women get far better at multitasking. So suddenly that baby on their boob that probably would have consumed their whole entire brain pre-pregnancy, pre-having children, it's just a baby on the boob. You hear the baby whine, you know that's the crying whine. That means you need milk. And while you're still doing everything else, you just put that baby on the boob and keep going about your business because you have to handle 15 different things because you're a mom now and your brain has rewired. So no, sorry, you can get away with that bull telling men. Okay, but you can't tell psychologist female Ruby over here, okay? Because I understand female anatomy and all of that stuff. Okay, no.
The milk's going bad.
But the milk's going bad. Tell me milk's going bad.
Killing my milk, ma'am. I'm gonna need you to get from out in front of my house before I call the cops.
Spare me. If stress killed milk, no one would ever be able to breastfeed because giving birth is the most stressful, traumatic thing that you could ever do.
I'm trying to be reasonable with you, ma'am.
I'm trying to be reasonable with me. Do you hear your scamming sounding self? Do you hear it? Do you hear
my baby crying? Oh my God.
You and your baby about to be in jail. Do you want you and your baby to be in jail? You want your baby to go to foster care? Because that's what's about to happen, okay?
My baby's milk going bad. My baby's milk going bad.
You and your baby's about to be sleeping on the street in December. You better pick now where it's warm, because I'm gonna tell you something. This house belongs to me, and so let's pretend you were really scammed. I don't believe it, but let's say you were. You know what's gonna happen is this. I'm gonna tell you this is what's gonna happen. It's gonna take a little while to fight this in court, but when I win, and I will win, then eventually you will be out on the streets. And the more I hate you at that time, is the more I'm not gonna care. It's the dead of winter, -50, and now you and your 6-month-old have nowhere to live. Trust me, I won't care, especially then, and you'll be very cold sleeping in the gutter. At least now it's summer, it's warm, and I still have the opportunity to actually care about your life because you're not screwing me over and putting me with my pregnant self with nowhere to live.
That's all right.
You took me out of my house.
That's all right. I'm gonna start me a GoFundMe. I'll fix you.
Girl, listen, I'm gonna tell y'all, this is not the topic to fight with Ruby about, okay? Because this tenant ruined my life, and I have been sitting there cleaning up after their nasty ass for what day of the month is it? It's the 23rd, for 23 days. I am tired. I am mad at people who do not respect people's property. So no, and now you want to come steal? Because that's what the man tried to tell me too, that he wasn't leaving my house. What do you mean you're not leaving? I was nice enough to give you an eviction notice, okay? I was nice enough to give you that notice. You're gonna tell me you're not gonna leave my house? And I should be homeless? I should be homeless so you have somewhere to crash? I don't care about your feelings. Like I care about me, my homelessness. What do you mean?
Okay, with all due respect, Ruby.
All right, I'll leave.
See, that's what I'm saying, Char. Trust, because I'll pull some Char moves on you. I will kidnap your ass in the middle of the night, okay? Blindfolded and all. You'll be worried about your baby. I'll be like, you should have thought about that before. You know what I mean? Yo, I don't know who you're talking to. Get out of my house.
I'm guilty here. I'm sorry. Well, let's see these 30 seconds. What else she had to say.
Oh my goodness.
Wanted $8,000 and she would leave. It honestly makes me really angry to know that she's still in there.
Cruz says not only are the eviction courts backlogged, she and her husband can't afford an attorney, so they are praying the woman will leave soon. Now, the woman living inside the home tells me she is willing to meet with Andrew Holmes and Alderman Sawyer to try to work something out. She says she was never wanting to make local news, let alone national, and she just wants the situation to be done with.
Okay. So she's willing to work it out. Isn't that nice? That's nice.
Nice, my foot. Okay? You're not gonna get me today, okay, Char?
Uh-oh.
I already started this show telling y'all this is not the week. I have had the life from hell the last 23 days, okay? And before that, for 30 more days because my condo exploded, okay? Then I sat in homelessness, basically living in a hollowed out concrete box, only to come here for someone to tell me they're not going to move out of my house. Like they somehow love and cherish and appreciate this place for me to come in here and have to spend 23 days so far to clean and only have about 1/6 of it clean. I haven't even moved in. I'm still sleeping on plastic covered couches. And you want to tell me about random people wanting to take ownership over your place so you can be homeless? Oh no, not today. Not today, y'all. Not today. Nope. Ruby is not about that life today. I ain't playing with y'all. I'm going to help every single. Tell that woman to call me. Trust me. I'm ready to help her.
Oh my damn.
Y'all don't understand. No, because it's that feeling when someone tells you. Because I understand that feeling now. Someone can look you in your face and tell you that they're not going to leave your property. Yeah. Who are you talking? You don't know me. Someone hold me back, right? Like I can't even believe this is happening. Like you did what? Like it's the blatancy of it all. You just went into my yard. You changed all of my locks, and then tell me about how you're not leaving my house where I live. Like it's just so blatantly disrespectful and wrong. And the thing is, I bet you it's a Black person. Now I'm going to tell you why I say that. I'm not just stereotyping all Black women, okay? It's because it's that stupid movement. We talked about this before, Char. It's that movement of Black sovereign citizens or whatever they're called, and they think they have the right to do this, and they're doing it in normally people of color / Black neighborhoods, and they are just taking other people's property and saying basically that America owes it to them as reparations. That's what this reminds me of. It reminds me of the same situation.
And I'm telling you, I'm not going.
Yo, you playing with people today.
Oh my goodness.
Who's that? Miss Regina! What's up, girl? How you doing, my sister?
Miss Regina's back.
I do well, y'all, and you know, as a child of a former property owner, and you know, it's just amazing. And Ruby is right. People just get in and do what they want to do, think they can do what they want to do, you know, when they rent from you, you know, they really do. But you don't go in somebody's place and just claim ownership like that.
Right.
But I hear that it's a lot going on with that, with these Airbnbs and all that kind of stuff. People are going in and refusing to leave and all that kind of stuff. The waters for that have become a little bit murky, you know, where you can draw the line with the law and say, no, you need to get out, you know, and even when it comes to your own children. And so I'm speaking from experience here. If you let them live there certain at the time, then they're considered a tenant, and if they're paying rent or not. But if I want you to leave, you mean to tell me I got to go downtown, go to the county, and sign paperwork, and to get them out of here? Y'all just can't come move them out of here? Yeah, it's a process, and that needs to be looked at. You know, because if I'm the owner and I've allowed you to stay here, and you need to go now, then we need to be that transition needs to be a smooth transition. It shouldn't be, and if the law needs to be involved, then okay. So you can get out of here and you ain't tearing up stuff. But it's a lot of laws that are out there now that do not protect the owners anymore when it comes to individuals who somebody and even if you were scammed, and I agree with Vonda, you as a person, you would want to say, okay, you know what? This, I see this is not what I thought it was going to be. Let me go ahead and pack up and let me go ahead. Let me do this. Let me move out. It's not there should not be turmoil between the owner and the person that was scammed. There should not be.
If there's an understanding, and but with the owner feels like the owner feel like they're being scammed. It's like, okay, who's this person who just walked in my house and just set up shop?
Yeah,
the person is like, if they were scammed by a third person, then it was like, damn, that's kind of messed up. The whole situation is messed up.
Exactly. That's why I said that we need to revisit all of that as far as legal. That needs to be revisited because there's no way that somebody else should be able, but it's been done here in Texas plenty of time where people will sign a lease, move into a place, and it's like, no, this is not yours. I don't know how it's done. It's some little crooked way that they're able to do it, but as people can list houses for rent, show you the house. There are people who have done walkthroughs, actual walkthroughs. They actually walk through the house and okay, this is what we want. Let me give you, okay, we only accept cash. Okay, we got cash because our credit. And see, that's where we fall victim because my credit isn't up to par. So if you want cash, if you're not going to run my credit, I'll give you cash. And so that's where, as far as our minority families fall victim, they'll accept the cash and then there's no record. I didn't go to the bank and get a cashier's check. I didn't go, I didn't write a check and say for deposit on such and such. And it's not, there's no record of it.
True.
Yeah. So there's a lot more to that. We're being scandaled and preyed upon on those individuals who know how to make that work. I got this property for sale. I know how, or for rent. I know, because it's even happening with rental. It's not even for sale. It's for rental properties as well, especially here in Texas.
Wow.
Yeah. They're able to show a rental property, get the first and last month's rent, and then they're gone. So I can believe that happening. I can believe it.
Yeah, it's a lot of that going on here.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I have
Waco, we ain't coming out. You better stop. You better stop. You better stop. You better stop.
Now, I want y'all to check the private chat so you can see. So I was referring to, I couldn't remember the name of it. It's the Moorish sovereign citizens, Black folk. And what they're doing is they're literally going to other people's homes. They're handing them documentation, basically saying that they are reclaiming this home as property that was, taken from them. Basically.
Yes.
And then they are just, even if you don't let them in that day, what they do is they wait till you leave for whatever reason and then move into your house, change your locks, and that's it. Now you just don't have a house. And they're doing this for real to people. We covered one of the stories on the news show because I thought, I just couldn't believe it's the idea that someone could really just walk up in your house, right? Change the locks of your house. Like, they don't know you. They're basically trespassing. This is basically breaking and entering. But now they're saying they live there. They have, and that's it. There's nothing you can do. What do you mean there's nothing you can do? Like, this is,
yes,
like, I want to.
That's why the laws need to change.
Yes.
There is a, and I apologize, I had to drop off, but well, I dropped off. But yeah, the laws need to change around here because it's sad to say that I own a property, and if somebody moves in and claims that property, and now they have rights. I'm paying lights, water, taxes. I'm paying taxes, lights,
Property
water.
taxes,
I'm
yes.
paying all of this, and now they have rights.
Yeah.
No, laws need to change.
It's happening with Airbnb people. There was a big
Yes.
one that went viral a few weeks ago. And bro, on one side I was both infuriated, but like I was catching jokes. Yo, this woman's blatant. This poor woman, another black woman, and I hate that it's happening. It seems like it's predominantly happening to us by us, which is even worse. But fine. So there's a black woman who owns her home, right? And she said, okay, she wanted to make a little bit of extra money when she was on vacation or whatever. So she rented out her home on Airbnb for the time she was gone.
Yeah.
And then it was her house cleaner told her, this person's not gone yet. I thought they're supposed to be
still
gone.
here.
Yeah, right. So then she gets home.
Wow.
Woman was there, and the thing is that in wherever she lives, right? Once you pass 2 weeks or maybe it's 3 weeks, right? Then the rules kick in to protect her as a tenant, right? And so now, and she said, I ain't leaving. You can't make me. And if you touch me, I'm gonna call the police on you, whatever. And she's living in a room in your house that you still live in, and you're like, and you can't make her leave. And
that was infuriating. That was infuriating,
right?
That lady was straight up telling her, yeah.
Just she sat down at the dining table and started smoking in this woman's house, bro. I wanted to kick her in the face through the TV. I'm like, how that woman sat still? I don't know. It's so bad.
It was very infuriating. Watching that, I was just like, oh my God, that's not even my situation. But this woman, this is her house. There's no, and the woman knows this is her house, but because these laws exist, she's like, well, I'm not leaving.
Yeah.
Which, if you don't get your tail up out, I would make it so uncomfortable.
Her lighter, politely start smoking a cigarette. And when you have a non-smoking house or you have asthma, and this heifer really don't smoke in your house,
right?
It would be so it would be so uncomfortable for her. I'm serious. I would make it so uncomfortable. She would probably want to leave. I would. Everybody, when I tell you I bring everybody over, I don't care whatever. Y'all come on over. Everybody stand up in the house. I'm moving everybody in.
Everybody. I'm telling you.
Yeah, because I need to make it uncomfortable for you. This ain't about you. Yes, this. If you want to stay here, watch what's gonna happen. Watch.
Right, girl. Especially if I have access to the house we're talking about, the house in question, and you try to tell me you're not gonna pay rent and you're not gonna go
at all. Okay. Look,
exactly. Sitting there, it was crazy. I'm like, oh my God, I was getting upset. It was like, come on.
That'll be the response would be, okay. Okay.
There was a situation that happened in California. This was a couple of years ago, maybe 10 years ago. A young couple, they had just had their child, so they hired a housekeeper. And then they didn't do a contract, but it was time. The reason why they had hired her was over with, and the housekeeper wouldn't leave, and they had to evict her. And the thing was, so normally tenant laws kick in after 28 days. So since the lady had lived there much longer than 28 days, she was considered as a tenant. So they had to evict her, and that took months.
Yes.
Because when they put the paperwork on her, the first time they went to court, I think she said she had difficulty moving, and she just kept stalling and kept stalling. So they were living with a woman that they ain't even want there.
Yes, I remember seeing that. I do remember seeing that. Yes, that is so true. We do have to be careful who we allow in. So here we're back at a full circle as far as relationships and all of that. Who you let in. She told me I can stay here and da da da. And he said I can stay. And here she come with her and her cousins and the babies and
Right.
No, it's so ignorant. Like you're hearing about homeowners who are literally being arrested while people who are staying in their proper property illegally are getting to stay there. Now there's a restraining order against them, so they can't even. I mean, it's crazy. Now, on one side, there was a need for the laws to change during the pandemic. Sorry, I know you're not supposed to say that word, but the thing, because right, there were some landlords that were just greedy and grimy. Like this is not, these people weren't, just choosing to not want to pay their rent and da 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 da. And you want to put them, their whole family, their kids out on the street during a worldwide crisis. That is unconscionable. So yeah, they did have to change the laws to protect people, but like, dude, like there's got to be some protections for landlords or for owners as well. Like it seems like there's just no protection for owners at all. It's
yes,
crazy.
right. That's what I was speaking of when the adjustment in the laws do not protect the individual that's providing the service. I'm opening up, if not my home, my former home, my mama's home, something. I'm offering up a room or something, and for you to take advantage of that. You're absolutely right. There need to be some laws, and that's what I'm speaking of. There's something that has to be changed.
Very much.
We cannot allow individuals to come in and say, okay, this is where I want to stay, and here's where I'm gonna stay. And they unpack stuff and post up. That's not that should not be the norm. I should not expect that if I rent out my space, or if I allow, as a gentleman just stated, if I allow a housekeeper to come in and he or she decides that they do not want to leave. No. Yeah,
Absolutely.
that should not be fair. That's not.
Yeah, and I don't know what's taking so long, because if you want to make a change, just do that, because this has been going on, been an issue for many years, if not a decade, that I can say.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Absolutely ridiculous.
But I'll end it on one more story, because the other stories, it'll take too long. But since we're talking about homes and $1,000 or $2,000 being offered, this one is something about $1,000 or $2,000 being offered.
Oh goodness.
Let's see if anybody takes it.
Oh my goodness.
Company offers $2,000 to release 100 cockroaches in your home. Tampa, Florida. One pest control company is offering homeowners $2,000 to let them release.
Oh, geez. Why did I start scratching and itching already?
You know what? I just did too. I'm like, oh my God.
God.
It ain't worth it.
Nope.
Miss Seeley, it ain't worth it.
Will never be.
No,
the study is only 30 days. That's all it is, just 30 days.
No.
They ask for you not to use any treatments, whatever. They're going to pay you the $2,000. They just need you to be a homeowner.
No.
To live with roaches?
Yeah. 21 years old. That's all they're asking. Be within the United States, and they're going to give you $2,000.
Oh, yeah, ever loving mind. Now, if I was renting a place, maybe, right? Because then I don't care about your property, maybe. But even then, no, because you want me to live with 100.
That's in my house. They can get in my. They hatch eggs.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. See, no. So that's going to be a no.
A purpose infestation purposely. I don't want that.
Yes, no. My
But
heart.
see, here's the problem with that. It's supposed to be a research study. What if the stuff they're using don't work?
Right, because in a research study, you're gonna get the part that is the actual chemical that they're gonna use, and some people will not get the chemical. when you're participating in research studies. Some people get the placebo. Some people get the actual medicine, and some people don't.
Right.
You know, so I don't want to be the person, Lord forbid. I don't even, okay, so here in Texas, we have, it's the ants. And so the ants try to find something that they need, and it's certain ants need something sweet. So I learned that
They need
my
water.
sugar scrub
Water.
in my shower, I learned that my sugar scrub that I do, my shea sugar scrub, is attracting ants in my shower. And so I saw 4, and I'm just like, no, and this ain't gonna work. I can't do it. So just to imagine they release how many?
100.
Okay, no. That's
No,
what
so I didn't forget the number at all.
They
100.
can be killed right the minute that they're releasing that one spot. You're not gonna go in every corner and crevice of the house and drop one off. We're not doing that.
No, because they'll get to listen. Here's my thing, right? There are some people who are raised around roaches like it's normal. Okay. Now, some of those people include people in the West Indies, right? Because like the way my family reacts to a roach, like they think I'm stupid the way I react to bugs, right? Because like in Jamaica, for example, right, there's like literally it's like a string. It almost looks like a black string until you get close enough to it. You see that it's a line, almost like a road, with roaches going either direction, going in and out of certain places in the house, right? Especially where there's food. Because they don't live in like totally hermetically sealed places like we do, right? They just build themselves a shelter, and if there's cracks and whatever, things are going to get in. So they're okay with roaches like that, as long as it's not getting into your food, as long as it's not getting into your bed. You know what I mean? They're okay with that. Whereas girls like me are not okay with this, right? So I feel like there are some people this could work for, or people who maybe if you're raised certain places that have a lot of roaches and stuff. And it's kind of normal for you, even if you got out of the hood, you got out of those areas, if you could tolerate it, that's fine. I was raised in such a way where I was never raised around roaches. And the one building I lived in, which is actually still in this very upper class neighborhood that I live in now, sort of, but it was some people had moved in, they brought bugs with them. We saw a roach. My mom at the time, I was like 7, 8 years old. My mom started looking for a new place immediately. We were gone within like 30 days. Gone. There was no way we were living in some building with bugs, right? So that's the way I see roaches. Like they are not something that is compatible with human life. I could not do it. But I do think there are some people that could do it. But I don't think $2,000 is enough, because 100 roaches, like that's going to turn into 1,000 very quickly. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not.
They're only giving you 2,000. That is nothing.
No, it's not enough.
Nothing at all. It's not enough.
No, because they replicate very quickly and they're very hard to kill. They get into literally everything, right? Even if they're able to kill them all, their eggs and the dead carcasses will be everywhere for years.
Every bit of food you eat looks like a roach. If you don't eat Raisin Bran,
please stop.
Maybe that's the study though. I'm gonna be real with y'all. It would be a brilliant study to tell people you did that you released 100 roaches, and then to see how they act even though you didn't release nothing, right? and then just ask them how many bugs did they see, did they feel any on them at night, because honestly, because the brain is a very powerful thing, right? Like that's why we all started feeling like we're crawling around, because we read it on a screen. We didn't even see the bugs, we just read it on a screen that someone did it. It's like, oh, they're everywhere.
You goof around, you find yourself in a situation like, hey, Jeb, what? The lady said the juice ain't working. The juice ain't working. No, hell no, it ain't
working. Yo, that's what I'm saying, Roach. Like you can't do nothing. You can't, girl. I could not ever. When I went to people's houses and like, yo, they just like the roach was running along the wall, and it's like they didn't see it. I'm like, what kind of madness do you live in? That like no one's faced by these bugs everywhere. Like, why is this okay for y'all? Oh, it's just a roach. I'll never forget when my best friend at the time said that. It's just a roach. And she just said it with the most normal, like she's like, oh, it's just a slice of bread, right? It's just a roach. What is just a roach? It's in your house, girl. Baby, it's not okay. It's not okay. Okay.
Said it's just a roach.
You know,
Just right?
it's really hard though, but it's really hard to share with a friend that I saw a roach and then and it comes and it's blatant. Like how do you say that okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put it out of here. My family warned me, okay, when we go in this house, you don't take your purse because they might crawl into your purse. You never know. This is what I was told when I visited.
Oh.
Don't even take your purse in. Be careful where you sit because they can crawl on you. But so if I'm being prefaced like that, so the friends already know. Do you think they've shared that with like when we come over there? It's roaches. We crawl. They crawl in our purses. They crawl in our. I mean, do you actually share that? I don't see where. I don't
But
see. Go
I got
ahead.
I got a jacked up story. Hopefully he's not listening. So this was back in the days in New York. So I was doing my little DJing thing. So I didn't have my own DJing equipment at that time. So I was using some equipment at this dude's house. So I was the DJ. The two other guys, they were the rappers. But I'll bring my records. So every time I would have to come home with my records, I'll have to go into my Oh, wait a minute. I would have to go into our backyard, take off everything, shake my clothes down, take out all my records to make sure no roaches got in my stuff. You turn on his DJ equipment. So you got the mixer. The mixer start warming up. The roaches start coming out of the damn cracks in the damn mixing board.
Oh no.
Bro. No, I've heard that before. I've heard people whose gaming systems didn't work, right? And then they go over, come to find out when they took apart the thing, it's because it was just full of so many roaches dead and alive.
Oh
Like,
my gosh.
wow.
Oh my goodness.
Damn. Like, no. You see, this is my issue. That like I'm telling y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all something, okay? So this dude that was living in my house, he basically we found the evidence now, we've seen everything. He was clearly cooking drugs in the house at one point, or at least he was letting someone cook drugs, we real ones, probably meth in the house, doing drugs in the house, probably heroin, definitely cocaine. Like there's so much evidence, and then it has been literally, it was already filthy and then abandoned for at least 6 months. So I mean, there was like name a kind of residue, disgustingness, just terrible things that you could see. It's like this house looks like it's 5 seconds away from being condemned. That's the condition that it was in when this idiot was standing on the driveway telling us, "But this is my house and my community. You can't." What do you mean? Shit, no count. But that's not my point. My point is this: there's been many times where I wanted to throw this whole house away together, just all together. Just forget it. I don't want it. Just we'll throw it away and get a new one. But I'm telling you, the one thing that comforts my soul is that when this house was very new, when I was a kid, right? So because my mom bought this house before they even broke ground. Like I picked the brick of the outside of this house. Okay. Anyway, but when it was very new, we had a couple problems. Once we had rats, and the reason why we had rats because they were field mice, right? Because they literally took a totally empty field and built a whole subdivision
And building, took over their property. Yep.
Exactly, right? So like we never even saw the mouse for like months. We just saw evidence of a mouse. Like it would eat our little straw baskets on the ground, or we'd see little brown things we didn't know would end up being poop, right? So we had that problem, and we also at one point had ants. Same thing. Like something drew them in, and they just came in a line. And we're like, what the hell? And suddenly we were just overcome with ants. So because of those two problems, literally, not only did we have like the exterminator come, but like every possible way of getting into this house got sealed off, right? And I'm like, I lie here at night sometimes when I want to throw away everything. I go, at least there's no bugs. I'm serious, right? Like all of the hell I've been dealing with, that's the one thing I can say is at least there's no bugs. Because if there was none of this problem, but the bugs, I'm not sure I would still be staying here. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just like they crawl in your ears, and you hear people waking up being bitten in the eardrum by the roach, or they hear fluttering. Yo, I couldn't do it. Like No, because that's what I'm saying. You're gonna wake up with stuff in your ear and your eye and your nose, right? You swallow 20 bugs normally a year in your sleep. It's gonna be
Oh
like
my Jesus!
100.
Stop!
You
Stop!
feel
No!
me?
No! No!
Every
No!
time
No!
there's a crunch in your salad, you gonna be like,
No!
is that a crouton or
No!
is that a roach? Like,
No!
no, no.
No! No más! No más! No
Right.
más tacos! No más
At
tacos!
least when
One
I see
time.
like white residue on something, I accidentally touch it. I go, hopefully
want
that
a
was cleaning
taco.
powder and not cocaine, right? Like at least with cocaine, I get a contact high, right? Like there's no benefit to having roaches in your house. Like I just no. Sean, why did you? I'm gonna have the worst sleep tonight. Like the worst sleep. I am going to imagine all kinds of things running all kinds of places. I already know.
No, you don't have to think
horrified.
about that. Just think about how you will remove the person that is squatting in your house. How would you do it? What time would you kidnap them? What kind of team would you use?
Right?
The rope?
Not the
Think
SWAT
about that.
team. Look, we got to create the SWAT team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I damn near want to kidnap the man who already moved out of my house, right? You owe me some money and some labor here. What the hell? I don't know who you think you are, but trust me, okay? I don't work for free, and I'm working for a lot of free. And I'm gonna hold your stuff hostage, or I don't know what I'm gonna do. Maybe I'll just come scoop you up. Maybe I'll scoop up your mama. She's dangerous with that cane. I don't know though, but
Oh.
you know, no, yeah. I have those daydreams already. Sadly, apparently, allegedly.
Yeah, just have some of that allegedly, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, it's gonna be all right.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you all for tuning in tonight. Thank you for everyone sharing. Those who contributed to the channel, thank you so much. And we have a lot of birthday people next week. I hope that you all enjoy your birthdays. Got a couple of hump day birthdays. So enjoy.
Woo-hoo! Woo-hoo! Yay!
I'll be sure to do my top 10 that's on the FBI list. I'm going to enjoy going through that. I'll be sure to do that earlier this time. And I think you all will enjoy it as well. It's going to be strange, but we're going to make some fun of it. That's what we're going to do.
Yay. Yay. Now next Friday, Char, I'll be traveling back from Vegas, so I may not be able to join you guys.
All right. Well, I'll make sure I'll chill some wine and have a toast for you at least. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can try though, because my birthday is very close to next Friday.
I know. That's not Ruby. That's not Ruby. Yay. Yay.
It's okay. I have a whole birth season though, not just a day. So it's okay if you have to wait till the following week. It's fine.
Okay. All right. All right, Miss Season. That's what we Leos do. Okay, but okay. That's what we
You know how it
do.
is. Oh yes, and happy birthday, Miss Regina, because I didn't get to say it earlier.
That's okay. Thank you, love. Thank you.
Of course, Leo sister. That's how we do. You know how it is.
Yes.
We love y'all cancers too and everything though. Don't worry about it. It's just,
Yeah, we include y'all too.
Yeah.
We include you too.
It's all right.
Yes, happy birthday to you, ladies.
Thank you.
Do enjoy, and if you're able to tune in Friday, please do. If not, hey, we'll remember and toast to you, and hope you have a great time wherever you are. And until we meet again, everyone, stay safe and peace.
Cheers, y'all.
Peace.
Peace out, family.